Hello everyone, Sean Taggy here at Memphis Investment Properties, Chief Operating Officer and Partner of MIP. So we have been investing in apartments, multifamily apartments. You've probably seen it on our YouTube channel, a few of them. Check out below, I actually have a link to a 99 unit apartment complex that we actually sold this year and got a great return on. See that link in the show notes and some other videos explaining multifamily investing. So if this is interesting to you, here is something for you to understand before you go into investing in multifamily, is to know the different types of asset classes. So we filmed a video on our turnkey side of the neighborhood scores A, B, C, and D. And there also is a way that, investors, private equity firms, hedge funds classify asset classes for multifamily. So this is by the building. There's, in my opinion, and yet again, all of this is kind of opinionated. I've seen many spectrums, different ranges of how people put an asset class on a multifamily. But in the most part, this is generally what people say. So there is an A-class multifamily. Okay, so an A-class multifamily is exactly what you think, the best of the best. These are typically in the best areas of town where the higher income paying tenants are at, with good jobs, stable jobs that they're probably not going to get fired at, right? They've earned that position for some reason. Even if they do get fired, they can go find a job easily. So they're going to have typically higher collection rates, higher occupancies, higher premium rents compared to the market average of multifamily in that market. Also, really, some people just classify it as 15 years or newer. Some go to 10 years or newer, some are 20. It depends on your opinion, but basically it's going to have higher end fixtures, very low maintenance on these properties because they're so newer, right? That's what A-class is defined as. Better neighborhoods, better school districts, or like in the downtown districts, the trendy areas by all the nice restaurants and bars. So that is an A-class multifamily, and it's based on the asset, right? It's the building. The building is an A-class with the tenants in there, A-class tenants, okay? You can actually have an A-class building though in a B-class neighborhood, right? There's different ways to go about that, and yet again, a neighborhood classification is based on one's opinion, and same with A. But going back here, generally speaking, there's also a B class. Okay, obviously these are less than 15 years old. Okay, meaning built less than 15 years ago. So just a step down from A class, still pretty good. And actually in some markets, I see the B class, like that gap, kind of getting pretty close, where the B class and the A class rents are actually not that far apart. Which is, there's lots of good niche strategies there that you can invest in and think about depending on where the market's going and how much more delivery of A-class is coming in. If there's not a lot of delivery of A-class, maybe the B-class will start picking up and getting into there. And you can renovate a B-class up to a B+ or an A- class. Let's say it's a little older, 30 years old or so, or 20. You can renovate and get it up there, right? And make it kind of have nicer fixtures and all that. And your tenant base is still pretty good, maybe a little bit lower collection rate, a little bit lower occupancy. So then there is a C class, okay? So a C class asset depends on what you're saying, but it's going to be greater than 20 to 30 years old. So most people, high-end people, just classify it by how old it is, and that's all they do. But also, generally you'll see from there, a little bit lower end tenants. Maybe these are the lower paying type of rentals, and just the working class blue collar type of tenants might have a little bit less of a good collection ratio compared to the others, right? Because those tenants are in entry level jobs, and people who haven't earned a management position and worked their way up, they probably haven't earned it for a reason, right? And they might not be the best type of employees, generally speaking. And depends on your strategy. I hear some people, there's like, I am C class all the way because it has the best returns and you get a better return on investment overall. I've heard the other way where people are like, I want A class because, yeah, you might have not as great of cash flow, but that thing's going to appreciate like crazy. Other people say, no, the C class appreciates the most because rents can keep going up to catch up to the A, B, and C. people are going to be tapped out of the A class. So I've heard in lots of conferences, lots of debates and battles and strategies of what people do. My answer is just invest in real estate and you're going to be doing great. So that's with C class. What you're going to see also is cap rates. Cap rates will be lower in the A than the B and the C. So these will have higher cap rates, middle, and lower. And so just kind of watch the market data and you go from there and it can go from there. These typically might be distressed. They might need repairs, 30, 40, 50 years old. They might have major capital expenditures, meaning like big roofs, water heaters, HVACs, all those might be old and need lots of repairs. You can bump these up to other classes and can move up and down. These are always changing, ever morphing type of assets depending on who's managing it, what type of repairs the owner's putting into it. So anyways, that gives you an idea of what an A, B, and C class multifamily asset class is. That'll help you if you're determining what your personal goals and preferences are on investing and where you want to place your capital. Maybe you want only A or B or C, or maybe you want to diversify a little bit into all of them, or maybe you're just like me and you're just like, what gives me a great return? I'm going to invest in that. All right, so there you go, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Let me know if you have any comments. We'd be happy to explain a little bit more with you on some of our phone calls. And thank you so much. Have a good one.